Okay. Well, folks, welcome to the Go for Diamond call. This is Chris and Tammy here, Crown Diamond with Max International, and we want to thank you for joining in this evening. And the purpose of the call this evening is really to continue on the prospecting, inviting, following up, but in line to social media. And Tammy prepared a wonderful, wonderful training here, and I will be adding on my experience when it comes to social media. As a matter of fact, many of you are aware of Africa, being in business with Max International. The irony is that it started from Facebook, from one lead, one contact. Really interesting how things, I'm not saying this is going to happen for everybody, but it's amazing how things can transform. And social media is not to be underestimated, but there is some protocol that are very, very important to follow to help you maximize your results as you are evolved and sharing, especially in our time right now where things are changing, the way we're communicating is evolving. And I think social media, because of social distancing, is becoming more and more and more important. So Tammy, I'm going to turn this over to you, and let's begin.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been online so much since all of this has been happening. And, sometimes you need to take your hat off and take a 10-minute break just to do some, deep breathing, or maybe stand outside and get a little bit of a fresh air and then get back in and get on the computer, because it can be overwhelming sometimes, especially when something is new. And I think for a lot of us, it is new, that the social media platform, in doing the steps on social media. And, some people like Chris has got more experience on computers, and so it's just a learning curve. And I know a lot of you that were at the Sasha Pinto event, learning a little bit about the platforms and social media. We got a lot of stuff out of it, but still there's so much to learn. And I like to listen to people who have experience on the industry that are getting the results. And I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Sonia Stringer, but Jasmine and I went, and we had VIP tickets 3 years ago at a conference called Believe, and it was all around women success in network marketing. And there was a panel of $1 million earners plus of females building the business. And it was interesting because I had a nice array of age groups, which was really nice. And everybody was talking about how they were building their business. And a lot of these women 3 years ago were converting. And of course, the younger generation, I mean, they're born into this. So it's such an easy, natural thing for them to do this. So everybody who's on this call, again, we all have different skills and on social media, and of course, belly to belly. So as we know, there's been a lot of conversion in the last 6 weeks with everything going on. I know that all of you have been working a lot on your connecting with people, making the contacts, following up with them, putting them through links to watch videos. And then last week, we really focused on the follow-up process. But as Paul said, we're doing all three of them sometimes in one day, and possibly even four of them in one day, where you've made the connection. The timing just happens to be so perfect. They watch the videos right away. They're looking for something. They said, you know what, I'm in. I need to do something about my situation. Next thing you know, you set them up and you got a training going. Is it always like that? No. That's very rare. It usually takes quite a few exposures, but can it happen? Absolutely. And it's all about catching people on the right time and the right day and in the right situation that they're in. If there's enough of a need and they're hungry enough, people make decisions pretty quick. Okay.
And Tammy, just maybe to reemphasize before we continue to go back to the point of, first week is prospecting, inviting, second week is following, and so forth. Keep that in mind, that obviously a lot of you are brand new. You don't have a soul in your organization right now. Maybe you've never talked to anybody about this kind of business model at all. And you might be, a little confused and so forth. What we're telling you is that when you begin, before you can start training people or following up, or whatever the process as a continuation, there's a beginning stage where you're going to be talking to people. And often some people are going to take time for them to take the time to say, okay, let me look at it. Let me consider it. Oh, let me try the product. Oh, that sounds interesting. And so most of your time at the beginning will be this initial contact, focusing on the relationship, educating yourself. And in the process, as you move forward in time, you'll have people in the pipeline that are ready to get to the next step, which usually happens after. But as you get more experience, like Paul using the example, well, he does well all three in a 1 week. That's because Paul had been doing the business for 10 years, right? So it's something that's been going on nonstop. But for some of you, it's fresh off the press and you have no idea what to expect. So this is just kind of a guideline. But keep in mind that as you are involved, many of you here on the call, you're not going to just waste your time for the entire week, just do prospecting. If you've already been prospecting for the past 3 years, it's common sense, right? You're probably doing all three, because in some cases, all three situations will occur in that 1 week. And that's kind of what we're saying. So continuing your point.
Yeah, and we highly encourage people to go through their warm market and hot market lists first. First of all, you're going to get practice. They already know you. Often people are open enough and kind enough that they'll listen to you and have you practice, especially when you're new. And then, often when people run out of contacts, then they start doing things through social media. They'll go to events. Obviously, we can't go to events right now, but we can join groups. There's different things that we can do that I do want to talk about, because you can never run out of contacts, you guys. If you think that you're running out of contacts, then you're missing the boat, because there's so many people out there. And I didn't even know the numbers before we really started to tap into the social media platform, especially me, myself, and to have a strategy plan online. If you're going to go online, you don't just randomly go online and waste a whole bunch of time. It's exhausting. I know, because I've done it, and you learn from the experiences, right? So we kind of want to give you a fast start to it. And so you don't spend all that time on social media and then get frustrated and say, this stuff doesn't work. First of all, when you're dealing with a cold market, you must understand there's a whole dating process, because they don't know you. And often there's different countries, and, people are skeptical if they don't know you, especially if they don't physically see you either, where they can read your body language until you get them to that point. So there's a process in all of this. And I'm encouraging you to be very patient with social media, because it does take time to build those relationships. Mm-hmm. So if we look at the statistics, Facebook, you got 245 billion active users, personal and business. Instagram, you have 1 billion active users, personal and business. And then, of course, LinkedIn is more of a professional platform. There's 660 million active users. So would you say there's enough contacts out there to be able to build a 6-7 figure income? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, the one trainer that I'm talking about, Sonia Stringer, when we went to the Believe conference, she had built a 7-figure income with a company with Facebook only. Started out with a personal page, and had built up a large organization with a laptop and sitting at home. So if she can do it, then we can all certainly do it. It's just how did she do it? How do people do this? And you already know a lot of these things, because we train a lot of it. And it might be different words, different segments that we'll share, but at the end of the day, it's the same stuff. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. So I put a little bit of strategy stuff together so you can understand what needs to be done in building this business. So let's talk about Facebook, because most people are comfortable on the Facebook platform because it's more of a social platform, and let's face it, network marketing is about building relationships. So the first step is always social. So it might be a comfort zone for you. So I recommend Facebook to do that, because you're going to get a nice array of different people, you know, people that have jobs and have never considered home business, but are in desperation. And who knows, they may be the diamond in the rough. You just never know who you're going to come across. So always giving people the benefit of the doubt. But there's you have your personal platform, which is your social platform. You can create a page, a business page, to start attracting people. You can even do Facebook lead generation. I'll let Chris talk a little bit about that. And then you can create group pages as well, whether it's a social group where you're starting to attract other people like-minded to share some interesting things into this group, or create a business platform, a group platform. But if you're new, it's critical to start with a personal social platform. Use your own personal platform to start. What you don't want to do is to put your products up there and to promote business. There's a way of doing it through your story that you can connect with people, for them to want to know more about you and what you're up to working from home. And then it becomes a private message. Okay. So you can start like that, because the conversations is going to lead to the conversions over time.
So let's talk a little bit about Facebook Live. Many of you started doing this. I know I have been doing this for we've been doing this for about a year, 2-3 years now, maybe more, actually more. And, but it's really lately, I've really started understanding the power of Facebook Live. And if you want to follow along with me here, if you grab onto your phone, if not, don't worry, you can always listen to the recording and do it after. But if you start your Facebook Live here, okay? And, well, you just happen to have these guys with the cream on their faces. That's not the point. So from there, if you notice at the top portion here, there's a live button. So if you click on live, okay, so what's happening is that it's doing a selfie of you, because obviously you're doing a live, so obviously it's expecting that you're going to be doing a video. And at this point, there's a description, and you put in a quick description, right? Don't write a book, just a quick, simple description for people to see what this is all about. Now, you'll also notice that as you write the description, there is 3 little icons. I don't know if you can see it from here, but one of them is to tag friends. This is really, really important. Now, be careful with the spamming though. What I usually do when I tag friends, you'll notice here, okay, sorry if I'm sharing but see, some of you here are right here. I don't know if you can see that. And why? See, these are people that I know have been watching previous posts and messages that I've been doing. So for example, over here, and there's 10 more. So what I usually do is I will go ahead. See, there's Lucy, there's Scott, there's Brian, there's Venus from the Philippines, there's Gwen from the Philippines, there's Dr. Bright, there's Whatmaster, there's Java, there's Kelly, Sherman from the Philippines. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm just giving you an example. This is what I usually do, and I select the one. These are the people that have been watching me before, right? So when I say done, then at this point, I have 14 people. It says 13, and Lucy happens to be the one I picked the first here. So what happens is there's 14 people that are going to be seeing, they'll be notified of that. And the ones that are following you also will be notified. And then you have your description here. And then the moment I click live, boom, it's live. From that point on, you share whatever you want to share. Let me just cancel that so I don't make a boo-boo. Disregard, okay? And I'm telling you, what I found is when I started doing Facebook Live, when Tammy started doing Facebook Live, the amount of response we get on either like or comments is 1,000% more effective than just putting a post. When it's live content, it's massive. And I do have my personal social media, my personal page, which is my name, and I use both of her pictures because she attracts this, so I use her as a bait, right? So but it's my page. So from that point on, that's why I have Tammy and I there, right? We're a couple. So, but that's my personal page. And I also have a business page, which I happen to be calling Active Team. which is really a team support, as you all know. And also I created a group page, which is Max Global Diamond, where there's people from all over the world, but I have everybody in there. But here's what's really, really, really important. When you are creating those pages, you have to be careful what you accept as posts, because by default, anybody can post anything they want. And it can spam you, they can try to take your contacts and, you know, try to gear them to another deal, whatever the situation is. So what I do is whenever someone posts, and this is a feature, I'm not going to talk about it tonight, but it's a feature that you can choose to say, okay, I want to make sure that I will accept anybody who posts. And anybody who tends to post anything within a Max context, in, for example, my Max Global Diamond, I will accept no question. But the moment I see anything outside of the context, if you look at the banner, it is a banner of Max opportunity, right? Max information, products, testimonials, anything like that, absolutely welcome. But whenever it's outside of context, purses and real estate and whatever situation, I will not accept those things because I don't want to create confusion for the people that are out there. And because of that, I accept everybody, right? That's my group, but active team, they're mainly Max associates. This is not a site where I do a lot of prospecting. It's designed to create my billboard of information for Max associate to be aware of what's going on. My social presence, I mean, we'll touch on it, but it's a bit of personal content, a little bit of, you know, humor things that I like and so forth. But what happens is that will lead into conversation. And the last point that Tammy touched on is Facebook leads. Now, I'm not going to talk about it tonight because that is associated with a monetary aspect where you have to decide you want $5 a day, $10 a day. I choose $10 a day. My budget is anywhere between $150 to $300 a month because I select a radius of about 35 kilometers for my point of reference where I live. And if you want more information on that, just private me personally, privately here on Zoom or on WhatsApp, and I will share with you the video that I use myself to learn this. And then we get, right now I think we're up to almost 250 leads. No, sorry, 154 leads that we got on Facebook. And folks, a lot of them are not interested at all. They're just curious. So what I do is, you know, sometimes I'll get a comment, sometimes I'll get an interest and want to get more information. But what happens from there is the more exposure you got, the more chances you have to convert, which conversation leads into conversions. Back to you.
Absolutely. And you don't even have to go that far because there's 245 billion people on Facebook. It's massive. You can do that just from a personal page and making that connection. And those of you who want to, you know, go a little bit further, you want to create a business page, make sure that these people are also connected to your personal page and see and learn about you, because that's where they're really going to learn about who you are, is through the personal page first. Okay. So you want to do the 4 C's, which is connect. It's common sense. We're out there looking for people who are open to be friends on Facebook. And don't just friend people. You want to add contacts, but you also want to send a personal message. And when I send a personal message, first of all, when I see somebody that I may want to connect with, I go through whatever I can go through on their personal page just to see something about them that I might want to connect a personal message to. For example, maybe they just did a video with one of their children doing something really cute. It could be anything where you can make a like comment or a message, but also private message them as well. Find a way to make a connection, not just add them. Because you know how many people just add people and they don't even know these people, and they'll never know these people because they haven't connected to them. So you're not really friends on Facebook because you don't even know most of the people. So get to know the people. Okay, we're all about relationships and building relationships. Will everybody respond to you? No. I get lots of people that respond to me, and I also get lots of people that don't respond to me. Sometimes it might take another message for me to try and connect with them. Okay, but don't get stuck on the little things. Keep moving. You're looking for people that you can connect with in that moment, and keep going until they make a connection with you. Then you can respond. Okay. You want to join groups. This is really important. Join groups of people that you know that you can connect to and have an easy conversation because you have something in common. Like, for example, Alice, I see you at the top here. You're an incredible artist. Oh my gosh. I mean, anybody who's in the art industry, the art world, would want to know who you are. I would join a group that has to do with any type of art, because the moment you get in there, you can, comment on people's stuff. You're going to put your stuff out. They're going to comment on you. You guys, you can privately message them, maybe ask them a little bit about how they did that. That's when you get into these conversations. So if you're a pet lover, join groups with pets. Put out pictures of your pet, do a video of your pet doing something fun, or, just to create that interaction where people want to connect with you. That's what it's all about. It's about connection.
I'm such a sucker for pet video. I could get stuck on hours watching them. It's true.
And we don't even have pets.
Especially the dogs that talk.
I know. So join groups. I was talking with Laura Martin. I don't know if you're on the call tonight, but we were talking about that. She's a nurse by trade. Now she's home. She's got 3 young kids. She's doing Max part-time as she's raising her children. So she's a young mom working a home-based business and used to be in the nursing field. Well, she can join a nursing group because she's going to connect with what it takes to be a nurse. She's going to recognize them for what they're doing right now, and with everything going on. And she can explain to them that, since she's had children, she wants to be home and, be a great mom and be able to be there for her kids. And she found a way to have a business from home. Like, there's all kinds of things, you guys. You just got to get creative. That's all it is. And just get creative. What do you love to do? Join groups. I'm telling you, I'm part of quite a few groups. I like business. I used to own my own personal business. So I understand open the door, close the door. So I can easily relate to those people. So find a niche market, which I'll talk to you about in a second. So number 2 is once the connection's there, with the people privately, then you can, create some curiosity, build some relationship. They may want to have some information. You want to create value and stuff, but you do the same thing on your page in your posting. Okay. So the whole thing is to be active on your page. This is something that I really need to work on. As I teach it, I know what I need to do to be more active, but I can tell you, when I'm active, and I'm putting anything that is photo related, because I'm keeping an eye on my traction, on where I'm getting the most traction. Just doing a plain text post, you won't get a lot of traction. If you add a photo to that post of a message, and not a long post, you guys, people are not patient. They're not. They're just scrolling through. I don't have the time. I just scroll. If somebody writes a long message, gone, next, gone, next. So keep in mind, when you want to be perfect and write all this stuff because you think it's the most important thing for you, you're going to lose people like me who's fast. I want to move on. I'm looking for people, you're going to lose that. Inspiration. People need to be inspired right now. If you look at all the posts that are out there, man, if you scrolling through all these posts, you could be negative in a minute. Seriously, that's how bad it is out there. So people are starving for inspiration, whether it's a quote and maybe a quick video on how you felt or how that quote has impacted you or impacted your life, and tell a story. These are good. Family, fun. People need to know that you're human. often, you know, a lot of people is like business, 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 this, you know, they're so focused on exercise, 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 nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. You see this all the time. And you know what? People need to see you're actually human. All right. So do some fun human things. Do some funny things. Hey, Scott, you've been putting out some pretty funny things.
Oh, I like the Minions.
Oh my God.
The Minions with the teacher and the parent.
Yeah,
hilarious.
That was out. So, you know, just many things that you can put out that even if people have seen it, it's just one more funny things, because we need some humor, right? Here's, like Chris said, the most important thing is a video and Facebook Live. I was not comfortable with Facebook Live at the beginning. So what I did is I started to do it videos, and I'd look at them. If I liked them, I would put them up. If I didn't like them, I would cancel out. Where Facebook Live is like, I remember.
Too late.
I know. I remember sometimes on the beach, Chris is going, okay, we're doing a video, and I'm going, and I go,
I don't have my makeup.
No.
Is my hair okay?
No, we're on the beach. And I go, is this live? I look like such an idiot because I didn't know he was doing live.
Whatever.
But you know what? It's the human element. It's going to bring some fun into it.
Well, you never look like an idiot.
Seriously, you guys, don't try to be perfect, because people are not looking for perfect. And if you're waiting to be perfect, you're going to miss the boat on meeting some really great people, because nobody's perfect. Okay. And you just want to have fun with this. And then of course the conversion. So that would be the next step. Once you start creating interest, sending them, you know, the link to have a look at this. Once the interest is there, the goal is to convert people. And of course the continuing communication is always there on social media, especially with the enjoying the business. But you also have the continuing conversation is also the training portion of it, which we're going to go into next week. Okay, so is everyone a prospect? No.
And accept that. And really, seriously, you got to take that bitter pill and just learn to live with it. Mm-hmm. Because often they're going to, you know, sound like they're biting, they're interested, they're keen and everything. And suddenly, whoop, they're missing in action. You don't know if you did something, said something. No. They're just, the way I look at it is they disqualified themselves. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as that, right? So don't get all hung up on one lead that, oh my God, there's an interest. I hope he's going to sign. Don't put yourself in this kind of stress and pressure. Go through the process, one after the other. Obviously, don't, you know, be human, share, build a relationship, exchange. And I'm telling you that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Who's looking?
I'm telling you, the ones that you got to be so careful what you say and how you talk about and the science and like, seriously, do you want to deal with that all the time? No, I like to be comfortable, right? If I want to be in my underwear, if I want to be in my shorts and I want to do business on my shorts, I'm comfortable doing business on my shorts. You know, so don't put yourself into so much pressure, and you'll attract who you are anyway, right? So not everybody's going to be a prospect. Just go with the flow, be consistent. And there's something is consistency, and commit to being consistent and doing these things. Because what's happened is that you could have done everything very, very nicely for 3 weeks. And the last week of the month, I don't know, you got bored, you got discouraged, you got tired, things got distracted you. You didn't do it. And that's the week that lead passed right by, never saw you, you missed it.
So basically, we're looking for people, especially in Max, we're looking for people who have a need for our product or our business. That's what we're looking for. You don't have a whole lot of time to chit chat online. It's important to have some type of a relationship. And you can continue those relationships even when it's no for now. You know, because it doesn't mean it's no forever. You might say something down the road where they really need something right now for their health. Before they thought they were in perfect shape, and then all of a sudden something happened. And, you know, if you continue those relationships and not make them feel uncomfortable because it's not for them. And, you know, it's always good to have strong relationships with people. So let's talk a little bit about target marketing, because that's also a really important element, is to have a focus, especially a focus of something that you can easily relate to. Okay, so for example, if you're in the health and wellness industry, you know, a dental assistant, dentist, naturopath doctor, stuff like that, they tend to gear towards groups that are more in the health profession, fitness people, nutritionists, stuff like that. Join groups if that's where your interest level lies, and connect with people in this type of a target market, because our products certainly are beneficial for this target market if that's where your focus is. Businesses, there's a lot of businesses that are hurting today, you know, so join some business groups, different types of business groups online, and see what people are up to. Again, you can easily private message the members and just say, you know what, I'm fairly new in this platform and just getting to know people. I really like the post that you put out this week. Thank you for sharing, because it made an impact on me. And then you connect with them, okay? And compliments, you want people to like you, compliment a lot of people, and they will, you know, start to be attracted to you, because everybody likes compliments, okay? And then, you know, some people like some people want to be, that are stay-at-home moms, they're looking for other stay-at-home moms. Maybe, I know Jasmine, your passion is to impact women who are close to retirement, maybe single women, 50 plus. So join groups in that area where you really want to have focus and build relationships, you guys. That's the most important thing. You want to convert, you need to do these things to be able to get people to communicate with you. Okay, and then some online strategies, because a lot of time, you know, when you're new, you're overwhelmed. I know I was when I first started, and even today, I have to write things down that I want to do. If I don't write it down, often I don't accomplish it. And I like to get new contacts late at night when you're not physically talking to people. Actually, I tend to talk to more people late at night. It's crazy because everybody's online, but you want to have a discipline of adding new contacts. Don't just wait for these people to get back to you. If you're waiting for that, you're stopping your growth in your business. Constantly add people. You may have, you know, an extra 500 new contacts in the next few weeks. And trust me, not all those contacts are going to get back to you right away. Some of them, you might need to connect with them a couple times, or compliment more on a group page to that person. And finally, they'll get back to you, right? So you want to be consistently adding contacts. Do one platform first and do it well. And then if you feel like, okay, this is quite easy, you know, I got the rhythm of it now, I'm going to, you know, add another platform because I have the time. But work one and get it down pat. Okay, post with photos. You want to be doing that 3 to 5 times a week. Okay, so you want to do these on a regular basis, preferably 5, especially now if this is all you're doing, preferably 5, but 3 to 5 is good. You want to create some traction with people connecting to you. And again, you need a variety of stuff: inspiration, quotes, humor, family. Talk about some travel that you have been to. Ask questions. Hey, has anybody ever been to so-and-so? Maybe that's somewhere you'd want to go to. And then privately message them. If they respond to say, yes, I've been there. I was there about a year ago. Oh, wonderful, because I'm looking at going there. I'd love to private message you and ask you some questions. What a way to connect with people. Okay, so you've got to be creative in all of this. Videos. You know what? Get comfortable doing this, because this is the future. Whether you like it or not, it is a future. People are missing people right now. We're missing that connection that we're so comfortable doing. Look at when we get on this platform, you can see all of us are so excited to see each other because we miss each other a lot. We can't hug and kiss each other anymore right now anyways. So we have to, you know, make a connection. Well, people are looking for that online that are not in business. Some people are home by themselves. They're lonely, right? What a way to connect with them, offer them an opportunity to be part of a group, to be healthy, to earn some money while they're at home and be part of such an amazing group where they're constantly connected to. People would love that, especially mission-driven, purpose-driven companies, right? That are meaningful. Here's what I recommend. Start with videos comfortably. Or if you decide you're going to do Facebook Live and you're not comfortable to do, you know, videotaping yourself, do some scenery, do something of nature. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen mine, but sometimes I'm working outside on the balcony and then I stop suddenly because all these dolphins, lately there's so many dolphins coming up. It's so nice. It's
Nobody's
so peaceful.
around.
And maybe that's what it is.
The animals are in a natural habitat now, and they're feeding and just flying around and swimming around. This, you know, humans are not out, so the animals are out and they're living in their natural habitat. It's actually interesting.
So you can start by that and talk while you're videotaping that a little bit. So then you're starting to get comfortable. And don't do them that long because you lose people's attention. Maybe do something with your family. Maybe your kids are doing something silly and having fun and videotape them for fun. Maybe you're doing a prank with your spouse. Nothing really bad, you guys, but you know, something fun and where you're going to get people laughing. You know, you want traction. That's the bottom line, is you really want traction to people to see how much fun you are and that you're really a great family environment. You have a great environment. You love nature, all kinds of stuff.
And you know, just to finish up here,
and
guys.
Your story. Let me finish up with this story.
Okay.
Because your story is so impactful. Scott, we were just talking about that when we were talking about business pages. People need to hear your stories. I mean, that's what they're looking for. They're sitting at home, not knowing what they're going to do, don't know what's going to happen in 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months from now. Let them know that you're comfortable at home, have a laptop, you know, sitting on the couch or wherever, just having a casual laptop, coffee, and just, you know, casually connecting with somebody, saying, you know what, I am so glad that I made the decision 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago to start up my own home-based business. And one of the things I love about it, and then you speak from your heart. Tell them what you love about it. Tell them what you love about being at home. You know, while everybody's in their cars, in traffic, going to work. Obviously, that doesn't happen right now, but it's going to go back to that. Well, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. But you know what I mean? The whole purpose is to connect with people. Barbara Ann and Paul, I mean, you guys should be, your traction is in the music industry. I don't know how that industry is being affected right now. But you know, you can talk to people in the music industry. Bernadette, we've talked. I mean, there's so many of you on the phone that we've talked about some of the stuff that you can do for a target market, and really leverage and practice, you guys. That's the most important thing. Get out of your comfort zone.
So, you know, at the end of the day, building a network marketing business, as much as some may think it's about the numbers, it's about the product, it's about the science, it is part of the process, but it's not what will get you to have a strong team. It is the relationship that you are building and maintaining throughout your building activities. And as human beings, there will always be, you know, different of opinions. And again, sometimes we just have to agree to disagree and move on, because what happens is these relationships are the foundation to your organization. And if this is on shaky grounds, then the organization, your business is on shaky grounds. You know, often people think it's about the product. And, you know, I often see non-professional or very amateur network marketers. People are trying, they call themselves networkers, but amateur in the highest degree. For example, we're posting a little message, right, with one of our associates, and some person comes in out of nowhere, oh, I got something better, right? In the middle of your, like, even if there would be something better, who in the heck want to work with someone like that, right? So there's a lot of amateur in this business that are not treating this professionally. It doesn't matter where they go. They will consistently fail because they are missing the most important aspect, which is called the humanity aspect of building your business. And that's what when Tammy share about, just share your story. Why are you doing this? Why is it important to you? Why you chose this company? And people will connect with you. And that's what's so important. So as we stop sharing here, I wanted to show you just a little bit what's going on here. For example, looking at an example of an ad here. For example, I don't know if you can see this, but this is the ad that has been running in Toronto. It was a different ad, but this is what it says, right? And just so you can see, these are not even the leads. These are comments, and it goes on and on and on and on. More information, more information, more information, more information. I want more information. Yeah, some you know, I wouldn't say, you know what? Not really. The only one here I could read is this nice lady says, I'm interested as well, but I don't want to pay anything. So I'm straight with her. And she says, thank you. I said, you know, Ireland, I know we are dealing with difficult times at the moment. I really can help you create a new stream of income, but how can you possibly be in business with no investment? I mean, think about it, right? Most of you here, especially if you're in business, you understand that, you know, you need a bit of money you got to get a lawyer, you got an accountant, you got to get yourself set up, and you can't just expect to grow an income without putting anything in. It's just not realistic. And that's exactly what it says. It's not realistic. Let me know if you still want me to send you more information. I didn't even bother sending her information. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. I qualify the people I work with. But generally is information, please. I love the idea, working from home. I'm currently in Orlando, Florida, which this is the area that I'm promoting, right? So, and I'm not saying this is going to work perfectly for you. What I'm saying is these are different avenues that we utilize to, to share our message. And that's what we're telling you is social media. It is just another means of connecting with your prospect. And from there, giving them an opportunity to hear from your version. The other thing that's very, very important, I think we should share with you here, that I think often we overlook what we have here as tools. What's really important here is, for example, oh, not that, just a sec, where was I? Oh yeah, okay. So for example, when you go back here and you go under the calendar, right? Now the calendar has an enormous amount of information with webinars everywhere, right? Familiarize yourself with the webinar. Now we have French webinars thanks to Lucie and Sylvie, right? And now the webinars are here. So from there, you can actually access the information and click on the link and basically join the webinar and register. It's really that simple. So the fact is, it's very important that you use the tools and that you duplicate your team. Let me rephrase that you make sure your team understand the importance of duplicating, right? Subscribe to the emails. The people that are afraid of receiving 2 emails, let me give you a clue. They're not serious in wanting to build their business. Because I know that when I started this business, I wanted information. I wanted to know when's the next call. I wanted to be reminded, right? So, and that's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. And again, just remember that the documents are all sort of information over here, where in Canada, you select English, all the details are here. Here's the Max presentation, right? So right now we're revising the Max opportunity presentation because there's a few little changes that we're doing to adapt to some of the modification, enhancement, and things like this that we're working on with Max International. But the fact is, everything is here, and Tammy and I work diligently on a daily basis to make sure that you always have the information as quick as possible, and it's important for you to adjust and make sure that your team adjusts to it also. So in closing, Tammy, is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I mean, the key is to keep going. I mean, we're in a blitz. We're all doing the numbers and seeing how many people you can get in. The goal is 20. Anybody want to share what they've been up to? How many people have signed 3 to 5 people since they've started or more?
So I've changed the status right now just to, as we finish the call here, I'm just going to keep recording it because you may have some great comments. And if not, we'll just end on this note. You can unmute yourself if you have any feedback you'd like to add. And keep it not more than maybe 10 seconds to a minute. Please go ahead.
Hi, it's Jasmine. I have sponsored 3 personally and another one in my team, and I have another 3 signing up this week. So I will have 6 personal associates by the end of this week.
Wow,
that is awesome.
You're rocking it.
Awesome.
Fabulous.
Anybody wants to share maybe a question or a comment? Thank you, Jasmine. Well done. Anybody wants to share a comment? Go ahead, Scott.
Hi, Jazz. Great job.
Thumbs up. I like that.
Me as well. I got 3 that signed up in this month so far, and I reignited an associate that was what do you call that? Inactive. So they
beautiful.
Fabulous.
Thank you, Scott.
Congratulations.
Hey, Bernadette, how are you?
Hey, Bernadette.
Oh, you're muted. I will unmute you. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, sorry. So I personally met 3 people just recently, and I reignited a couple of associates that weren't auto ship. They are now. And we're working on a few of my new associates actually sponsoring associates at this time too.
Fabulous.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Awesome. And by the way, folks, as we end the call, so we can see your picture, so we can take a nice picture here. So just reactivate your video. Hey, how are you guys?
Hey,
Barbara Ann. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, it's always me who gets to talk. All right. So we reactivated a couple of associates that joined us years ago. They finally came back.
Wonderful.
And we have a new associate.
Awesome.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
That's wonderful.
Keep them coming.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Everybody's good.
Good. Silence is gold. Awesome.
Let's keep going. Because a lot of the time it's towards the end that you'll get the numbers coming in. So right now it's that, exposures. How many exposures do they need before they make a decision? So keep the relationship, keep the follow-ups, keep the exposures going until they make a decision.
And stay the course.
Yes.
Never end. So thank you so much, folks, for attending this evening. I'm just going to stop the recording right now.